Flash 2023 PG-13 action adventure, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Jesus, I was fortunate enough to watch it early with my wife. Thank God, thank you. I was on the fence because I'm not really a superhero fan. Never really was, maybe. But everywhere you look, it's like oversaturated. It's an oversaturated market, so I wasn't overly excited to watch this one. But the only reason I ever watch stuff like this is because my wife makes me, or a friend is like, yo, so-and-so's coming out and I want to watch it. Are you trying to come through? And I'd be like, yeah, why not? It's a way to hang out with them without actually hanging out with them. But this film surprised me. It's so basic by today's standards, but in a way it makes it fresh, or at least appear fresh. The few negatives there was the CGI. There's this point, the story where the CGI is so bad it's laughable even by today's standards, but it just adds to the ridiculousness of the scene because of all that was going on. So it kind of gets a pass, but it's still negative. The second thing is the whole story structure, like multiverse or an alternate timeline. That whole plot is starting to wear on me because it's everywhere in media nowadays. Oh, the multiverse. Oh, the timeline's wrong. But on the other side of the same coin, it's what makes it interesting because you get this feeling that anything can happen, and that's what makes it so engaging, and it's so different from the conventional stories people tell, but it's so used up nowadays in the last like 4 years that it's just not. It's starting to become the conventional story. The multiverse is breaking apart. It can work, and that's what makes it engaging. It puts you in a state of anything can happen. Something could fly in from another universe. A turd from the turd universe. It's what makes it interesting and absurd, but it's so open that the absurdness can create this world of nonsense, and if you're not careful, everything can fall apart. The positives, the acting of our character Ezra Miller was admittedly good. Besides being an asshole and committing questionable acts, like I think he choked somebody, he was kidnapping somebody, he's just being an asshole. Besides that, he plays his character well, I think. Even if the second character he plays two characters. He plays his present self and the past self, or something like that, along those lines. If you don't know by the trailer right now, come on. Sorry if I spoiled that for you. Might as well click off now. But he plays himself in the past, and I believe it. Even if it's so basic, a high school, low effort stoner type or trope, he sells it, and he sells it well. If you could sell the character, you could sell the story, and that's what matters. The action was satisfying. I distinctly remember some scenes and having this reaction in me like a little kid, like, yeah, go get him. And I was just like, what the hell am I thinking? And the third positive was the nostalgia. I know it's a very cheap way to earn some kudo points, but the way they filmed some scenes somehow reminded me of old superhero films when I was younger. There was a dolly push that somehow sparked something in me. I was like, what? And I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the bat car. I completely forgot about it. I don't remember watching the trailer completely. I think it was in the trailer, but I remember having a toy of that car, or at least wanting that toy, and it just gave me that nostalgia, and it brought me back. Okay. The neutral or the positive depends on how you view it. I don't want to call it a positive or maybe a negative. It's just something I've noticed. They are learning from Marvel, or at least learning on what sells. And what sells is nostalgia, comedy, and what James Gunn and Edgar Wright do so well is well-timed choreography / action sequences to a very universally liked song. They do it here in New York. The way it ended made me feel like I was watching an old 90s cartoon. And since I wasn't deeply invested in the story and I let it play out, I was okay with it, even though it was kind of ridiculous. I give it an 8.6 out of 10. It's action, it's comedy, it's an alright time. If you get the time, why not watch it? If it's on TV, just tune in. It's not that bad. It's alright. It's cool. Thanks for watching, and bye.